This is the Net Group Investments podcast, where we explore a variety of views and insights that investors care about.
Hello, I'm Trevor Garvin from Net Group Investments Multi-Manager. Welcome to this week's installment of your market and economic wrap, titled Sparks Fly in the Oval Office, Causing Rumblings Across Europe. The West was rocked this past week when on Friday, Ukrainian President Zelensky went to visit US President Trump at the White House Oval Office. The aim was to sign large resources deal between the two countries, which would have placed US business square and central within Ukraine. Instead, the two leaders, along with US Vice President J.D. Vance, ended up having a public display of disagreement, each having differing views on how to tackle Russia and get both sides to the negotiating table to find an end to the ongoing conflict. In the end, no resource deal was signed, and Zelensky took a rapid exit. European leaders, led by the UK, France and Germany, very quickly strongly came out in support of Ukraine and their backing of President Zelensky. It is in all countries' interests to end the conflict, but at the same time for Europe to ensure the strength of NATO and maintain the strong united front against Russia and its push for territory. Turning to domestic issues, we await the delayed budget to be announced next week on the 12th of March. Intensive negotiations have been underway between the Government of National Unity partners to get alignment in terms of the way for revenue to be raised in order to achieve their expenditure goals, with VAT being the key contentious issue. Turning to the markets, the Rand dropped this past week after pulling back the previous week. This morning, the Rand is trading closer to 18 Rand 64 to the dollar from last Monday's close of 18 Rand 33. Rising global risk aversion due to the looming global trade war has weighed on all emerging market currencies. The JSE All-Share Index was weighed down by lower metal prices, with basic materials sliding by more than 3% compared to the previous week, while further pressure came after the US announced that it would cease non-essential aid to South Africa. Globally, US stocks were hurt by elevated worries about the likely impact of a trade war on global trade and the US economy, while underwhelming earnings from chipmaker Nvidia added to the downward pressure. European equities fell on Thursday after US President Trump indicated that he would impose higher tariffs on European Union imports. Asian markets also fell sharply, with the Japanese Nikkei down by 2.9% on Friday last week. In bond markets, inflation worries pushed the US 10-year yield slightly higher to 4.29% from 4.25%. Locally, the yield on the benchmark 10-year edged marginally higher to 9.78%. In commodity markets, the Brent crude oil price fell to $73.67, its lowest level since the third week of December, as market players worried about the implications of US tariffs on global oil demand. The gold price also surrendered some of its recent strong gains, but remained well above $2,800 an ounce. US President Donald Trump raised tariffs on imports from Canada, Mexico and China, taking effect on today, Tuesday the 4th of March. Canada and Mexico face 25% import tariffs, while an additional 10% will be levied on Chinese goods. Trump also announced that he was considering higher tariffs on European Union products. These measures follow the decision to impose a 25% tariff on all aluminium and steel products from the 12th of March. The US president has indicated he is mulling higher tariffs on automotive products, semiconductors, and pharmaceuticals. The US strategy or thinking is that these tariffs will encourage firms to rather manufacture within the US, where there will be then zero tariffs, and that they hope that the US economy will grow and many new jobs will be created. That brings us to the end of today's market report. Again, another few weeks of intensive global events and market volatility. Finally, the world's thoughts and prayers are with the Pope, head of the Catholic Church at the Vatican, who has been gravely ill with pneumonia for the past 2 weeks. Till next time, with thanks, Trevor.
Ned Group Collective Investments is an authorized collective investments scheme manager in terms of the Collective Investments Schemes Control Act. Ned Group Investments does not provide advice on financial products and will only give you factual information. For further details on our funds and to view our terms and conditions, please visit nedgroupinvestments.co.za. Ned Group Investments. See money differently.